everyone! To put his mask on.
Right.
Hey.
Hello, everyone!
And welcome back!
Yay! We're here for another week of the Corner of Remnant!
And we're late again! Sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah, of course, guys, don't forget to comment below and tell us if everything's okay, audio and visual-wise.
Yes.
You are our assistants for this.
Absolutely. I couldn't remember what I had your volume at last time, so I've just guessed.
Yeah. I feel like I'm typically a bit louder than you, so
yeah.
maybe always just chuck me
Actually,
down a little
I might
bit.
just turn you
Safe.
down while we're both talking.
Yeah.
But
I'm also pretty close. I always move. My mic's never in the same place, so that always probably messes it up.
Yeah.
Because my setup is full, just like, oh, I'm live streaming. Plop, plop, plug in. Sure, let's just hope it works.
Well,
I don't have a built-in setup or anything.
I'm just reorganizing everything and changing from one headset to another headset, another microphone to a different microphone.
Well, considering like this is my speed art thing, I have to take the webcam off and then use elastic bands to tie it up to my webcam mount, then put my webcam mount back in and
rubber bands. Fun. How is everyone today? I can see Zom, Cinder, Smash. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Also, have you seen the Not that we're talking about. Oh well, obviously we can't talk about it because it's not out yet.
The
We're
title?
not talking about. Yeah, have you seen the title? For
No,
episode
because
2?
I tried to look it up last night and it wasn't up, so I must have looked at it
Well,
too late.
do you want to know?
Yes, please.
Necessary Sacrifice.
Oh God.
I posted that in I posted that in Discord earlier, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound very good."
No, it does not sound good. There we had unforeseen complications.
So we had lighting the fire.
And now we've got necessary sacrifice.
Necessary.
I don't like that.
I think it's necessary. I'll look back in the Discord because I did post it in the RWBY spoiler section. Which, if you guys obviously, if any of you are here that somehow aren't on Larissa's Discord server, please make sure to join that.
Yes.
Yes, necessary sacrifice.
Yes.
And I believe the RWBY will be about the lighting, which is good because I've wanted them because the lighting in this volume has been the best improvement from volume 4, with all the gradients and the different shadings and obviously the highlights and shadows they've introduced for this volume. Engine-wise, it will be very good. But of course, guys, we are talking instead.
Chapter 4.
Today, of course, we are talking about lighting the fire.
Yes.
Chapter 4,
yes.
volume 5.
Oh, it was amazing.
It really was
an awesome episode.
Yeah. Similarly to episode 2, when I first saw the Yang, I guess we're getting into it. I guess I've brought us into it. As soon as I saw the Yang fight, I was. When it comes to choreography in RWBY, I go into it with, for some reason, obviously for Monty reasons, high expectations.
Yes.
And then I watch it and I feel kind of Then I go back and rewatch it with the correct expectations I should have, and actually analyze the fight and have a better mindscape of it, and then I enjoy the fight a lot more.
Yeah. So
it always takes me 1 or 2 watches to actually enjoy a fight scene more, especially from the RWBY episode, not the RWBY Rewind episode, how they discussed, how Kerry and Austin and all those guys really discussed the choreography and how Yang was going to be slower, she's going to be a bit more smarter, she's going to use her feet. I still think that if anything, the cinematography was a little bit tight. In some of this, I think choreography was fine.
It flowed really well.
I'll question that cinematography could have been taken back a bit, could have seen a bit more what's going on.
Yeah. I think it was meant to be
it was a bit tight,
close in the action.
Yeah, it was very close up, and I just felt like it would have been better to see the bit of a wider scape. But again, that's just my personal opinion. I did love the fight nonetheless.
I love the music. It had a piratey sort of feel to it to me.
Yeah, it was very Pirates of the Caribbean-esque remix of I Burn and Armed and Ready. I'm trying to think, and a bit of Western in there. It was a bit of Western feel as well, especially if the Armed and Ready portion was more of a Western.
Yeah.
And yet Armed and Ready was dun 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 dun.
It's probably gonna be one of my favorite scores.
Hope that didn't sound as terrible as it did in my ear.
No, it sounded really good.
Yeah, so that's definitely the feel they had with that, and I thought it was very, very cool. We got a pirate theme. So does that mean Scarlet anytime soon? I'm just saying, then again, the only other time we heard a piratey theme was the Sun versus Indigo fight. That was also a piratey theme to that because of Scarlet Sun.
Yep.
So that'll be but yeah, I thought the fight scene was really cool. Choreography wise, again, it really does show Yang's evolution. She's using kicks. She's not, and I think one of the greatest aspect to it is when she went for that final hit, she didn't just strike. She dodged out of the way.
She dodged it, yeah.
And then strike. And I think that was just a really... Again, I didn't notice it until, like, Austin mentioned on RWBY Rewind, just how much they tried to evolve Yang's fighting style. Like, show us what Tai Yang used. I guess it's bad on my part that I didn't really notice that until I was told it.
Yeah, same. I didn't mention it in my reaction or anything. But
whether that's criticism on the show for not demonstrating well enough or us just being stupid, I'm going to go just us being stupid. But if you want to say the show could have showed that even more, then fair enough, I can understand that as well.
Well, we only saw a very small portion of Thai fighting, so I guess we didn't really put 2 and 2 together, really. Because it was only a very short section there, and we're probably more focusing on Yang in that fight rather than Tai. To be honest.
Even Yang doing a backflip handstand and kicking the guy in the face doing a handstand, I think I was like, whoa, like, that was really interesting. And interesting, I thought as well, she very barely used her Embaselica in that fight.
Yeah, she didn't.
Really, she only used it for momentum. She didn't actually use it offensively. Which I love, because again, I think one of the best aspects to Yang's fighting is, one, hand-to-hand fighting is always so much more, well, apart from maybe sword fighting, hand-to-hand sword fighting is the 2 most satisfying to watch.
Yes, yeah.
So, again, and the momentum aspect of Yang makes that even more so. Zom thought it was underwhelming. Again, at first I thought it was underwhelming as well.
I mentioned it was a bit slow in my reaction. I thought, it's a bit slow, but it flowed really nice.
The one wide shot they had where the guy shot, that was very slow choreography at that, like where she like backhanded and stuff. Yeah. But again, I was hoping for like a long yellow trailer length fight, and I think that was probably wrong because they even mentioned. That's what I think was really cool. They even mentioned in RWBY Rewind that they didn't want to recreate the yellow trailer. They wanted to show her change.
Exactly. Yeah. And rather than just going straight in, punch, punch, punch. This was more her for assessing the situation and dealing with each of the bandits individually, and not just punching the head out of them.
Yeah, which again, you could draw that the fact that they had to mention it to us before we realized it is maybe a bad thing. But again, I really liked it, and it's funny. It draws comparison actually to set in I think it was episode 10 or 9 of the most recent Red vs. Blue season. There was a fight scene. It was a flashback fight scene, and the joke about the fight scene was that the other characters in the background were playing music. Yeah. It's like, oh, this fight scene needs some music. So they kept changing up different styles of music during the fight. Yeah. And the fight scene copied, matched the style of music. Yep. A lot of people hated the episode because they thought the fighting was really slow and stupid at points. And it's like, that was the joke. Exactly. So many people didn't realize that when the guys chose really slower music, it became just more of a boxing match. It was really slow. Yeah. And people were criticizing the fight code and be like, that was the joke. I just found that so funny that people couldn't, I guess, that joke went over their head. Yeah. But all in all, and, the reveal to the bandits that, Yang was Raven's daughter was so funny. Like, they should have called the guy Cliff, because I think that's what everyone calls him, because that was the voice actor's name.
Does he have a name in the credits?
No, he's just Shady Guy.
Oh, Shady
Guy. So I guess you call him. They should just call him Cliff Shady.
Cliff Shady.
Shady's colour. I'll take Shady as a colour. Yeah. Let's just call him Cliff Shady.
Cliff Shady.
Now just think of Slim Shady. Old school music. But yeah, I've really liked it, and I think it was really cool and interesting. I mentioned this because the start of this right before the fight was what they showed RWBY Rewind last week. That she took like her sides off and her gloves off. I think that was probably just for animation purposes.
I thought it sort of probably freed her up to fighting a little bit easier as well, because she didn't have those long heavy flaps.
I think it's just. I don't think they took it off just because they didn't want to animate. I think it's justified. But it's funny. I think Arnold mentioned she took them off to fight. But not when she was on a bike, when they could have got caught in the wheels. That's a good point. And done so I thought that was funny. They could have had it taken off before she was in on the bike. But again, I think that was harmless enough. Raven's semblance is cool.
We'll get into that.
Well,
do we want to continue talking on about that, or switch to Ranger, or do Ranger last?
Okay, no, cool. We'll do Ranger.
We'll do Ranger.
And
That was the
the
next thing.
first thing I wanted to point out,
Yes.
because I can't wrap my head around it,
Mm.
was that Path of Isolation they were playing in that scene?
I couldn't pick which.
It sounded like Path of Isolation, which I'm like,
I was like, what is this music? I really liked it. I was wondering maybe it was a bit of the Triumph, because we actually did hear a little bit of Let's Just Live, but it
could have been Triumph or Path of Isolation. Yeah. I really couldn't tell. Hello, Silver Star.
Hi.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell. It was such a perplexing thing, because it was like...
It was really... I liked it.
Yeah, I saw on Reddit, they were like complaining about it, which I thought was just stupid. But it was really strange, because it was like, I thought it was Path to Isolation, and I'm like, the song, I guess the song, in theory, matches like Oscar and John to a degree. But it was just really interesting. But I think it was some sort of remix of Triumph, I think. Or a score, sorry, of Triumph.
Because we haven't heard the full song of Triumph yet, so it could have been the bridging of it. Like with Let's Just Live, like I mentioned, there was that bridging part of Let's Just Live and the later part of the song, which sounds so different to the start. And when you rewatch Volume 4, you can pick it in certain scenes and like, oh, that's part of Let's Just Live, which we didn't know at the start. So I'm wondering if this is this case, it's part of Triumph. It's possible.
It could be possible. I don't know why, but Path of Isolation just became... It was like a score of that was the first thing that came to my mind, but I will have to...
Because we also had like a score of Armed and Ready in chapter 11.
Chapter 11, yeah, which I went...
Because we didn't know what it was at the time. But when I rewatched Volume 4, like, oh yeah, chapter 11, right. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I remember when I went back and watched that for the first time, I was just like, the scene we're talking about is the Ranger scene.
Yeah.
When they're sparring. It sounds like it could be Path to Isolation or Triumph.
Yeah.
And, to answer your previous question, Silver Star, I think Bumblebee is probably the most likely of the ships of the teams.
Yeah.
But I want, personally, and I think we'll get into this because I wanted to mention this earlier, in terms of the reunions,
yes,
I love that Weiss and Yang's was very emotional because, Weiss, apart from, I guess, apart from, I wouldn't even count Winter, apart from Klein, because you got to think about this too. She grew up her whole life probably not having hardly any friends.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
And she only knew Yang for a year.
Yeah.
If that. It was probably slightly under that. And this reunion was just so heartfelt and emotional because, Yang was one of the only people she really had.
Yeah.
They had their little moment in Volume 3, Chapter 5. Yes. At the end after the funky fight.
Oh yes.
That fight in general was really cool for them. What other interactions? They've had a few. They've had a
couple. It's nothing too notable, but I sort of get the feeling they were really close friends. And yeah.
No. And again, I always make the point they had a year of off-screen time together. So don't Blake and Ruby, I can understand people being a bit more skeptical because they had apart from like episode 3 of Volume 1, they've had no interaction one-on-one with each other.
Yeah.
But that's my point, is that Yang and Weiss, I love that it was really emotional. Ruby and Blake's, I think that'll be the next one, personally. Yeah. I think that will be more happy. That'll be more of a happy reunion.
It would, yeah, I think it would.
Not as emotional as Blake and as Weiss and Yang's.
Yeah.
I think Ruby and Blake's will be more happy. I want Blake and Yang's to be confrontational.
I think it will be confrontational.
Then loving, maybe by the end of it. Like maybe Yang after she airs her grievances, then she just kind of like hugs her and just like, okay, I'm good now. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Yeah.
Big chest. Yang has a lot of weight to carry on. Anyway, off topic.
We are getting a little off topic, but that's okay.
Yes, let's not go Achievement Hunter off topic. And Weiss and Blake's, I think, will be... What did I think theirs would be? I think there would be more... I had all this thought about what they would actually...
I'm not sure what theirs would be like, though.
But interesting, again. But again, we might not get those... We might not get that. That might just be grouped into the whole Team RWBY reunion. So we might not get a one-on-one moment with Weiss and Blake. But again, they've had their moments. Those have had their moments in the past with the whole black and white and other stuff. Do you guys think Bumblebee will be canon? Also, if you could leave anyone in the room, which one would be?
I probably would pick Vale. Either Vale or Mistral.
I don't know, really. Again, I don't know if we've really seen enough to really... I don't want to say... Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just say Vale. I guess, really. Mistral will be really hard. There'll be a lot of climbing. I ain't live in a one-story house. I mean, you know, come on. There were elevators, though. There were elevators in Mistral, to be fair.
And I live in a place where the most popular street name is called Hill Street.
Hoping for Rose Garden. I mean, that'll be cool. Again, as long as Ozpin is not a factor by the end, then 100% I'm happy for Rose Garden.
I was reading a comic last night on Pinterest where it was RWBY was going to kiss Oscar, and Oscar's like, "Oh, I've never kissed a girl before," and Ozpin's like, "Just go into it or you're going to miss the chance," and it was just stalling, so Ozpin took over and kissed her. And I was like, "You took my first kiss from me."
Yeah. Like, I think like, a lot of people are negative on Rose Garden. I really think it's only because of the Ozpin factor.
Oh, yeah,
I think most people are fine of it. It's just the Ozpin factor. And again, from what I got from Ozpin's speech in episode 3, Ozpin will disappear entirely. Oscar will just remain with memories and motivations. But Oscar will still remain as like Ozpin won't take over Oscar. I feel like because he said like and I will be changed, but my memories will stay with me.
Yeah. That
to me, at least, means that Ozpin will just merge with Oscar. Oscar will be the same person, but his motivations, like for stopping Salem, will become. And again, they won't merge until Oscar accepts this.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he seems to be more accepting now than he was at the start. So,
yeah.
Back in Volume
well,
4.
again, like a Minded Soul. We mentioned this, I think, in the last or two last videos, where it's like, Ozpin's soul wouldn't have gone to Oscar if Oscar would not eventually choose the same path.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, years and years ago, the Ozpin idea would have died off because someone didn't want to take over that role. But there also is the idea that Ozpin actually hasn't had this role because Salem hasn't really done anything for 1,000 years. So Ozpin might have just been coasting all this time until it's like, I'm the headmaster. Well, Salem's like, well, if you're going to raise an army, now I'm going to kill you. It's like, well, I shouldn't have become headmaster because that just made Salem say, okay, now I'm going to fight. That's my 2 cents on the whole Ozpin Salem thing. We discussed that last week, so I won't go into it further. Yeah. Guys, you guys' comments are hard to come up with. Rose Garden, I would like if RWBY was a bit more naive in the situation, like it was Oscar crushing on RWBY. It seems like RWBY is kind of into it as well, which I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know.
Again, I understand, like, she's like, you know, Oscar is in RWBY's position.
Yeah.
So RWBY's looking out for Oscar because I think she's just nice. I really think that
she is. Nice. She just wants to make friends with everyone.
She was in that position for a long time. So, again, at the end of the day, I think we'll just have to wait and see how it ends up. But for now, I'm liking it. Maybe they could slow down a little bit. It feels like they're going a little fast with just their.
I don't know. I just feel like to RWBY, it's all innocence, and she just wants to. She wants to. As
long as that's made clear. Yeah. At some point, then I'm fine.
I like that. Crow will be the best overprotective bird dad.
See, that's what when I first saw that scene in chapter 3, when he kind of stopped that, where he's like, "We need to have a talk."
Yeah.
I was thinking he was kind of just butting in, which it could have been a bit of both. He was butting in, but also wanted to get back on topic.
Yeah, exactly.
The freezer burn moment. Everyone got a tissue. I actually did. I was so close. I was. It was so funny. Like, I saw it, and then it took me a few seconds to kind of like. I was like, Dawn, cry. Don't not sit through this and cry. You must cry. So I actually kind of worked myself up to tears because I felt like that was necessary at that scene.
Well, you guys will see how I reacted when you see my reaction.
Taiyang and Raven reunion. I mean, I remember. Who was it? Was it? I think it was Dan who mentioned it. Kaido Dan who mentioned in his review that, like, it just shows how. What's the word I'm looking for? How much purpose Raven has in her ideals, and her. Because again, she could have gone and joined the bandits, but been a mother at any point because she could teleport to Ty at any point.
Yeah, she could have, yeah.
But that's also in theory that when she creates a portal, she can have a redirect portal to where she
That's
portaled
what people
from.
are thinking, unless she has like that connection with Vernal. But
yes,
I'm thinking she
but
can
I
reopen the
like,
portal back.
Yeah, I feel like she has a one-way back.
Yeah.
No matter where she goes, she can return to that original point.
It would make sense. Otherwise, she would just be getting stuck everywhere because she wouldn't have a way back.
Or
bouncing in
or
between
again,
people.
the reason why she's so close to Vernal is so that she can have that bond and get back to the camp. But I think she has a one-way system back. Not necessarily to the camp, but wherever she cast the portal from initially, she can then go back to the... Let's take a save point. You can go back to the last point you came from.
Yeah. Hi, AC.
Ozpin will be the greatest wingman. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go. Greatest wingman, yeah,
I'm in the comments. Ozpin will go Wingman, Kobe saying hi.
Yes.
I mean, I have a theory that Salem is the daughter of the goddess of darkness because she's the Grim. I actually have never heard that, Salem actually being a offspring of the god of darkness. I like that, actually.
Possible,
just
yeah.
very quick off. I like that. I don't think she is the god of darkness. I think some again, like, some people have taken episode 3 and have gone, okay, that means Ozpin is the wizard, and that means that Salem is the goddess of darkness. And I'm like, but no, because because Salem, no, she's not the goddess of darkness because
Ozpin was cursed by the gods too.
Yeah, people even say Ozpin, or chapter 3 proves that Ozpin is the good god. I'm like, no, because he was cursed by the gods.
He was cursed
so that
by
doesn't
the
make
gods.
sense. He was just a chosen. He was a chosen person to stop Salem, and Salem was probably plotting against the gods.
Yeah, exactly.
And since the gods, typically in most ideologies, don't interact with the world physically, they chose Ozpin. Ozpin either didn't care enough or simply failed, and thus was cursed. Immortality is a hell of a curse. I would hate to.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Inspector Who. Hi, Anime's Art. Sorry,
like, yeah, no, that's fine. Like, imagine how many loves he's seen die. How many lives he has stolen, like Oscars and other people's like that. Hey, Ryle, coming from Vitalcast, thank you very much. We had talked about the Yang fight, and we've now comments have got us off track. We're now going to be talking about the Ranger scene in full, actually, now.
I would like to mention before we get sidetracked again. We got some more information a bit about aura and semblance in this, which was really good.
Which is something they hinted at back at RTX that they were going to touch on this episode.
Exactly.
Especially if the idea is we're not going to have a World of Remnants. They're going to really incorporate those more into the show a bit more.
Possibly, yeah.
With the idea that we're getting 14 weeks of straight RWBY, which is the current projected idea of the show for now. Which I have something to mention, but I might mention that to you off screen, because it might not be appropriate to mention on screen.
Okay. Yeah. That was meant to be okie dokies. So we know that aura, they can activate it at will, which is interesting, because I always thought it was just always activated, but...
No, I always thought it was an activative thing. Because, what was the point for assassins?
Yeah.
What would be the point of... because again, people have had their teeth knocked out, people have been bruised, people have been cut, even, outside of a fight, because aura is something you have to activate. You can get to the point where it's a very simple on-off switch. Like, say, for Ren, that's how Ren was described. Like, it can be a very on and off switch once you learn how to use it and stuff.
Exactly, it becomes just second nature, you don't even think about it. Yep.
Yeah.
So RWBY didn't turn hers on when Ozpin was attacking her. That's what I thought too. I was like, she didn't activate hers, but he was
not necessarily, because I've always still thought that blunt force impacts still affect through aura. Yeah. It's just like cutting doesn't really doesn't work through aura. Like Tyrion got punched by Crow, but he still felt the effects. His aura was up at that point.
Yeah.
It's just that, again, blunt force trauma. It can't kill you, and it can't give you brain damage, but you still feel the impact of getting punched in the face.
Yeah.
It's not going to break your nose or anything while you're aura. So I think blunt force impact still works through aura. That's why RWBY still got, punched, kicked out of by Oskpin. Or whatever the...
What are they calling it? Oskar. Oscar Pin.
I don't think so. It's because the God of Darkness hates creation. Why would he make a person personally without his brother when they had made humanity?
I think it was talking about...
Well, again, he doesn't hate creation because he created the Grim.
Yeah.
So creating a Grim human would almost be the ultimate insult to because they agreed to create humans forever, to create humans, then leave Remnant. That's what they did.
I got a feeling maybe even the good god, or the god light created like the silver silver-eyed warriors, because they're still humans with that ability against the
Yeah.
Grimm. And while the God of Darkness could have created, Salem or something else behind scenes as well.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like they created humans, then he secretly created, say, Salem, for example.
Yeah.
And then he left, and like the good God was like, okay, I did see what you did there. Let's just chuck my little creation and puts in Silver Eyes. Then they both leave Earth or Remnant, whatever. God's husband, you had one job, more or less. That's more or less.
Yes.
Was Ozpin the son of the God of Light? I'm still wrapping that around my head. No, I know. They don't have any connection to the gods so far. We just know that Ozpin was cursed by the gods for not defeating Salem initially.
Yep.
That's all we know. That's all we know about the gods, that they created the Grimm and humanity, and they cursed Ozpin. That's all we know about the gods so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Ren did say Aura requires focus too, mate. It requires a lot of learning to kind of get into that, but it can become second nature eventually.
Yeah.
Ruby is my waifu. Good waifu. I personally prefer waifu, but that's just me.
Waifu.
My main problem was, firstly, we haven't seen much form of discrimination.
We mentioned touch base this on our last stream.
Yeah, I always hate that argument, because again, no offense to anime's art. I just feel like not everything happens on screen. And yes, a lot of their points, like a lot of Ilya's points, were from stuff that happened in the past. Stuff that we've been told, All this discrimination stuff, it does connect to World of Remnant stuff we've had in the past. Yes, we haven't seen much on-screen, as of now, discrimination, but they still want to be justified. They want to be, reconciled for the mistakes of the past. And they still blame humanity because those instances to humanity have just been overlooked and forgotten, where the Faunus want actual, again, we mentioned it last week, like, it's similar to, any of you guys know, it's the Aboriginal versus white Australian issue we have here in Australia, which again is funny because of Menagerie in the Corner of Remnant, etc., etc. It just relates to, they just want an actual, want to be treated fair and equal and want to be given reconciliation, is that the right word? I think so, for the humans' past grievances against, the Faunus. You're good at that? We all agree with that?
Yeah.
Hope so. God, these comments are coming in fast.
They are.
Yeah, I'll admit it's funny that the Brahmin tribe isn't that threatening, and yet Raven Valley... Okay, a lot of Ravens, and I think it's interesting more than bad, a lot of Ravens' ideals kind of contradict each other. But I like that, because me personally, I'm very similar. A lot of my ideals contradict another one. It's like, how does your mind work? Don't ask me. It'll contradict itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Raven's interesting. I still think we need to find more about her.
Yes.
And we'll get to her when we get to her.
Yeah, we'll get to her in a second.
This might be a longer stream. You guys are coming in with the comments, which is good. We love the comments.
Yeah, we do.
Ozpin is cursed by the gods, and Salem is disliked by the gods. Yes. Do you guys think the gods reincarnated some people? No, I personally think the gods have since left Remnant. They have no mana left on Remnant. They've since abandoned.
Or they're just watching
like
without...
Crow said, they have abandoned. Once they abandoned Remnant.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of like how, not to get religious in our life, how people feel the same way about people who are religious in the real world, because, let's say Jesus and God hasn't made an impact on this world since, like, for 2,000 years. So people would go as far to say that they've abandoned. Personally, I am Christian, I am religious, but that's nothing neither here or there. I just think, gods don't have a direct impact on the world, especially in Remnant sense, at least. Yeah. I feel like. Apart from when they first arrived. But again, that also relates to, like, the Old Testament, where God did have a huge impact on the world. Exactly. But then the New Testament, not so much. Yeah. Hope that doesn't spark any comments.
What was the next one? Yang versus Adam rematch. How do you guys think that plays out? I might have missed a couple comments there.
Yeah, I'm just going to... No, that was all the other 3 comments after that were about the same. Yang versus Adam rematch, I think guys will play out. I think it'll be Yang and Blake versus Adam. I don't think we'll get that. And that fight, I don't think will happen till, like, volume 8 or 9. Like, that'll be way down the line.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned how that will come about, just with how Adam is, but...
It was so funny. For some reason, coming into episode 4, I kept thinking to myself, have we seen Raven's arm? For some reason, I had this really far fear that maybe she had a robotic or she had lost an arm as well. I don't know why, because, like, her armor kind of looks like it. Yeah. But then also we saw the episode that she has fingerless gloves, so she definitely has her arms. But that would have been a cool, like, comparison if, say, she had... I think that might be too, like, the sake of story.
Yeah.
That she had a robot arm as well, but I don't know, for some reason I had that in my mind. I don't know why. I still see the SEW.
As insurance. SEW, what's that?
SEW. SEWs? What is SEWs?
So
make sure to tell us what SEWs is. I can't quite recall with the maidens and relics in play. Just tell us what that is, and I'm sure we'll get back to you. Want to see Velvet again?
Yes.
We will see Velvet again when they go to Bale, which will again probably be volumes down the line, but I'm sure we'll get that event again. Did Ozpin accidentally make Salem? I mean, if he somehow had if he had the creation relic, and maybe that's what he was cursed for, because he created his own waifu or something. I don't know.
Maybe try to bring someone back from the dead or something.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Don't know. I like how you think. Do you think we'll get a Stark flashback? I want Monica Real to voice Summer. Well, Monica voiced Sienna. So I don't think she'd voice two characters. I personally really, really want Casey to voice Summer.
Yes.
I want Casey Lee Williams. I think that would just be
Summer. I think she'll do.
No, I don't. Well, you heard her in Triumph. I think she can sound old enough now. Again, she's like 19 now, so I think her voice would be old enough. And even in Triumph, her voice sounded much older. I just think of all the times there was music playing, especially for RWBY, and imagine if that was Summer singing those songs during RWBY scenes. I just think that would be perfect. And I think she deserves it. I think 100%.
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure she's mentioned before that she'd love to do voice acting for the show.
Yeah.
Also, did anyone see her Neo cosplay?
Yes.
For Halloween.
Yes, it was amazing.
Wow. Also, she's beautiful. Like, I never really kind of realized how beautiful she was.
She is, yeah.
Amazing, talented. She's perfect. She has a voice like that, and wow, just incredible. God, I hope I don't sound as creepy as I feel like I am. Apologize.
Raven's motives don't add up, so there might be an underlying reason. We still don't really know what Raven's motives are, really. I think we'll find that out soon, hopefully.
Again, she could have just left just because she just didn't want to be a part of Stark and Ozpin's little ploys anymore. I'm curious. I don't think this would be the case. I'm curious if when Raven mentioned, again, we're jumping all over the place. I apologize. When Raven mentioned, when you need to know the truth, is she talking about Ozpin, or is she going to mention something about Summer?
I got a feeling it's about Ozpin because she said
I still don't think Summer will be touched on for volumes.
No.
Like again, like Summer is like the last thing they're gonna make in the last arc. They're gonna bring that up, and that's gonna be a whole thing. Yeah. Also, I'm still glad. Again, this might be just me. I'm still glad that they're not going over the Silver Rise stuff. I'm glad they're still keeping that under wraps.
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't focus on Ruby Semblance or fighting. Focus on Silver Rise. Again, it's the same idea of the Knight. Like the Knight is almost becoming a crutch.
Yeah.
I don't think so yet, but I can see it going there. Which is also why I don't want to be able to summon the Lancer. Because, Jesus, that should be true of Peach to summon the Lancer as well. Summer Rose was the god of light. Maybe that'd be interesting. Maybe, but again, I don't see the gods having that much of an influence on our characters that we know of. Did y'all see KJ's video on the idea of RWBY? I did. I have not seen. I don't really watch much of her videos personally. That's not to be mean or anything. Just not a big fan. But I did see that video. Like I did see the title for that video and thumbnail and stuff. And Adam's motives in general are conflicting.
Yeah.
So if you're being human as well,
I don't know.
Tara Strong has to voice Summer Rose. Doesn't she voice Carly?
She does.
Is that Tara Strong?
I think so.
I know Tara someone voices Carly, I think. Could be wrong. Let's see. Geez, you guys are on fire.
I think we might have to skip through over some of them, otherwise we're never going to get through this.
Okay, let's rapid then. We better get Sun versus Adam. Yes. As long as Sun doesn't die in that situation.
Yes, please.
But I definitely want to see that 100%. I just want to see Sun fight Ilya. Like, I'll happily see her fight Ilya if we never see her fight Adam. Silver-Eyed Warriors. I personally think Lindsay would be voiced. She's mentioned that before, that she could do that. Or Jen. I wouldn't mind even if Jen did as well. Because, again, I love the idea of Jen. We were talking about this stream last night. I love Pyrrha being a motherly figure to RWBY off screen. So I'd be happy for that voice to be Summer.
Yeah.
I'll be fine if the gods were named Miles and Kerry. Well, again, like the Brothers Grimm is where they're from. So that'd be a fun thing. Why was Ozpin cursed? Because he didn't defeat Salem in the first place.
Yep.
Because they've both lived for thousands of years.
Yeah.
I bet both Yang and Blake facing Adam, where Yang beats the... Yeah, I hope... That's exactly what I want. I hope Yang goes to kill Adam, but Blake stops her.
Yeah.
they let him live for whatever reasons,
Yeah.
or he eventually dies. I would like Lindsay to voice Summer with a normal voice. Yes, I'd love that as well. Osborne said he was cursed because,
Yeah, that's that.
Silvereye playing all this. I think Silvereye is just like I think Silvereye is just an external thing. They don't have anything to do with the maidens or the relics. They're just an external genetic property that could be related to the gods, maybe.
Yeah.
Ruby Amino is advertising you buying your own Pocket Neo. Oh, by the way, they also just came out with a Zwei plush today.
Oh,
And
Zwei plush!
it's adorable.
Oh, I just bought stuff on the Rooster Teeth website.
This is from the American. You bought yourself from the Australian store, didn't you?
Yes, but I also do have a couple of things coming from the US side too.
Ah, that's annoying. My poster still hasn't arrived yet. My Funhouse Overwatch poster hasn't
Well,
arrived
my
yet.
RWBY one only arrived yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Tara Platt voices Carly. Not Strong. Tara Strong. I know that name from somewhere.
Oh,
Someone
no.
give me a pop up on that. Let's see. Summer could be involved. I know it was a stupid question. I just saw focus on story characters, but Summer is dead. I do think Summer is dead. I don't think.
Yeah,
Summer
I do believe she's dead too.
Unless she has something to do with Salem, I think she's dead. No, I don't. I do not think Summer is Salem. I do not think Salem is Winter Maiden. I trust a friend of mine. Episode 7 is going to be nuts.
The whole volume is going to be nuts.
Think stoic? You do maybe know someone in the RT animation site that we don't.
Yes.
And I was going to mention it earlier. I will mention it now. I just want to give a big thanks to Brian, who worked on RWBY. He was let go today or yesterday.
Oh.
It sucks. I think he was the compositor or something.
Brian
Brian on Twitter, who's like really he live streams like Mojo's art and makes them animated.
Yes.
And stuff. I forgot it. Brian on.
I think it's Ard or something.
Yeah,
ARDT.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be disrespectful. But he got let go for reasons he didn't explain.
Oh.
So that sucks. So I wish him all the best. Tara Platt is Yuri. Yes, Yuri Lowenthal's Mercury's wife. Tara Platt is, yes. But I'm trying to think who Tara Strong is. Because I don't recognize that name. I really do. But I don't quite remember what she's been in. She didn't tell me anything because she's okay. Tara's parents are Thor and Pinkie Pie. I love the Thor's Day, Thursday, struck by lightning.
Yes.
Because again,
Crazy Thursday.
The name Thursday is actually derived from the Nordic name Thor's Day.
I didn't even realize that. That's
so
funny.
Thursday is actually Nordic Thor's Day.
Yeah.
And that's what got the name Thursday from for the English language. So that's really cool.
That's fun.
Again, that's so awesome. I love the fact that we learned how she got assembler, or how she discovered assembler. It's awesome.
Well, all of them. Well, RWBY in
also,
training.
the RWBY training scene was with Crow, not the Yang character short. I think that's almost.
Oh yeah, I didn't think it was the Yang character short.
Yeah, some people have thought that. No, I don't think.
Nah,
it is.
she already knew to do that beforehand. Otherwise, Yang would be like, "What the hell did you just do?"
They would have more of a reaction.
I think it tired her out pretty much, but we don't.
Silver-Eyed Warriors are probably based off the Winkle Guards from Wizard of Oz. I'm not too familiar with that. You familiar with the Winkle Guards of Wizard of Oz?
Nope.
I've only seen Wizard of Oz like once years ago.
It was years ago. I think I saw it when I was at school.
I watched Summer with Summer's weapon. There are heaps of characters in the show. I'd like to curious if they had a weapon or not.
Yes.
I've always thought that Summer either had just a sniper rifle. Therefore,
I was still sniper rifle.
Therefore, RWBY got a sniper and scythe from her two inspirations, not parents. Her inspirations.
Inspirations. Yes.
God, people. Or she just Silver Eyes was her weapon. She actually knew how to use it, and Silver Eyes was just her weapon. And she was more like Jean. She was more like the strategist. But when she did fight, it was with Silver Eyes.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
I want to go get food and this white plushie. What happened now? There's this white plushie that came out in the Rooster Teeth store. Should Nora lose an eye like Thor? I thought that was Odin who lost an eye, but maybe Thor does as well in his AC mentions that.
Oh.
Thor Ragnarok, he lost an eye.
Oh.
Was that a spoiler for Thor Ragnarok?
I haven't seen it yet.
I think, well, to be fair, I don't know if Thor Ragnarok is that loosely based on the actual comic Ragnarok. That could be wrong.
I don't know. I've been meaning to go see that movie, but it's just haven't.
Yeah, Tara Strong is a famous VA, but what's she in? Give us an example, please. Salem is Summer wearing a winter jacket. God, guys, you guys.
Someone had to have a bow and arrow.
I never watched the movie. Thinking of spoiling it. I'm hoping that wasn't a spoiler. To be fair, there's a Australian news show called The Project where they actually did a massive spoiler when they had Thor and Mark Ruffalo Hulk on the show. One of the announcers mentioned Hela and a connection she has, and it's just like, and then you just see Chris Hemsworth just freak out. It's so funny. Like, you can't say that. Let's see.
Imagine Ren reacting to Nora lightning struck thinking she died.
You're welcome, and your force been out for a while. I mean, sure, yeah, it's been out for a while, but still, anime.
We only got it not long ago. Don't forget us Aussies always get the movies later.
Actually, no, we got that 2 weeks before America did, actually.
Oh, did we really? Oh my god.
We did.
Okay, I apologise. Normally we get them months later.
To be fair, I could have gone and seen it a while back, but I chose
I was going to
to
do it last weekend, but I did my extra live stream.
Can you imagine Ren reaction to not getting struck by lightning? That's a flashback I'd want to see. Someone had a bow and arrow. That'd be cool if someone had a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Also, a friend of mine joined as 7 sisters, made like the 7 Knights of the Round Table.
I didn't think of that before. Ooh.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Joseph Brothers and Tara's voice Bubbles and Powerpuff Girls. Oh, there you go.
Awesome.
Sense. Okay, that'll be awesome. Okay.
Joan of Arc had 7 brothers. I thought that was weird. Oh, I didn't know she had 7 brothers. Oh, Joan of Arc. I know. Someone saying they didn't have 7 siblings. Oh, okay. I don't know. Anyway, where were we before we started answering?
Yeah, we were still talking about. We'd only gotten to the second scene of the episode. So we had Ranger. Again, it's cool. That they mentioned how the muscle memory picking up on this fast. I thought it was a little quick to see a sparring scene already, but again, they mentioned that, John.
Oscar and Ruby is very evenly balanced at the moment.
Yeah.
Which was
that
good.
Cinematography could have been better. I think that was rushed. That especially the cinematography and the choreography fine. Cinematography was a bit rushed on that. That could have. But again, it's just a sparring match. It's not meant to be serious, so fair enough. But again, could be better. But again, it didn't need to be fair. Again, we talk about Ren. I love again because we saw the visual representation of semblance and aura back in Volume 1 of Ren, and we had the Order Tour with Pyrrha, and now we have both in Ren now.
Yeah.
So I think that's awesome. It's cool that I'm surprised we haven't gotten a Jean Ozpin butting heads. I guess we're not going to get that.
No, not at this stage.
To be fair, I can imagine a lot of people getting annoyed at that. Like, that could be a cliche thing to put into the show, so maybe they just want to overlook that. And besides, I think Jean put all his blame on Crow and he got over that already. So maybe that's something they've already kind of addressed with Crow and they've kind of moved on. The best theory on John's semblance I've seen was that his semblance is magnetism like Pyrrha.
Yes, I saw that video. I was like, oh,
It was by Hero High, I think, or Eruption Fang, one of the two.
I can't remember. It was in my Discord.
But they had a really great video. I think I posted it in Discord, actually. It was a really good video about like polar opposites attracting, so they both have magnetism. I thought that was really perfect, I think. Or against a form of defense, like we've been hinted at. Which I think is also similar. I think Hazel has a similar semblance to that, personally. He has an aura-based semblance, or healing semblance, something like that. I think that's all for the RTX... I saw RTX in the comment. From the scene.
I think so.
I hope we get a team called RTX with, like, an extra letter.
You didn't hear that, but one of my Twitch alerts just went off. Sorry.
No.
Just hear this, oh yeah, in the background.
Yeah, but I do think it'd be cool if, Jean's was magnetism, and I think that's all we got from that scene. And we're going to get, this volume will probably just get, I think this volume will probably just get, Ranger won't do much this volume, we'll probably get more sparring, and we'll get the Blake RWBY reunition at the end, and we'll probably get the Bandit Assault, maybe, maybe I might get that to next volume. I'm not sure, but that might be stretching it a bit much. I think 14 episodes. Yeah, no, sorry, I think we will get it this volume. Never mind. Again, we've gotten so much. Only 24 episodes. It feels like there's been so many more episodes.
I know. It's definitely been moving along quickly. We may as well now talk back about bandits.
Yeah, I was looking through the comments. One more thing. I'm in Australia and Sydney. No excuse. I was there day one. I mean, fair enough. Not doesn't mean everyone else did anime. Monica, Tara Strong is Teen Titans. Oh, Tara Strong is Raven. I remember that, actually. He was Ben in Ben 10. Oh. And Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents.
I love Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes. I want to go back and watch the original Ben 10.
Oh, really?
Not the spin-offs that were all terrible. Yeah, just the original.
The original, yeah.
Ben. Because I actually did like that show a lot and I would like to go back and watch it. Monica's VA list, Ridiculous. Yes. Oscar could be a little brother of Jean. Well, I mean, there are theories that Jean is from Mistral initially, or from Anima.
Yeah.
So, maybe. Always open a bit RTX. Hopefully I'll already see that this year. Hopefully it doesn't clash with any other things.
Yes.
I should be doing all my RTX hotel stuff on Monday.
Awesome.
So I should be booking all that and doing all that on Monday. So hopefully we can find out. And for all of you who maybe are going to RTX, I want to point out, this as I mentioned, only the weekend passes are getting autograph signatures this year. So if you're getting a day pass, you will not be allowed to get a signature unless you run into someone on the floor.
Yeah, exactly.
So just be aware of that this year.
Yeah.
Oscar is a small boy like Neo, must be taller. I don't know. I think Neo is really short.
She's really short.
Oscar, because Oscar was only a little bit short. I think Oscar and Nora are around the same height, I think.
Yeah.
Nora is the shortest character in the show other than Neo.
Mm.
There's kind of a few characters, then RWBY, and John is actually one of the taller characters in the show.
Yeah.
My nipples will be so erect. Thanks, Doc.
Jennifer Hale. I think it was Mitch, I don't know.
Yeah. Jennifer, that's another name I'm familiar with, but I can't recall necessarily. Those amateur fights were like amateurs. But I don't. Yang's just that good at the same time.
Yeah. They're used to probably just fighting people who are not trained to fight, so...
Yeah, these guys aren't huntsmen, they're just, scavengers, really.
Exactly.
Again, that kind of causing the whole thing about Raven values strength, but again, if Cliff Shady comes back to the camp and Raven kills him, then that makes sense. In my opinion, that makes sense, because he failed. And because he attacked Yang. But speaking of that, I think we'll get into that now.
Yes.
I loved the fact that Raven didn't, has no, why would she? But she had no resentment to Yang.
No, she's like, happy. You found me,
Like, oh, you found me. It's like, oh, thank you, you finally showed up.
She's actually quite almost pleased to see her in a way, but then when
it wasn't until Yang mentioned that she just wanted to use Raven that she actually got upset.
Yeah.
Because, again, Raven's like, I had my own agenda, so I left.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with you or Ty.
Yeah.
I just had my own agenda. I had no issues with you guys. You guys can come see me whenever you want. I like that. I actually really like that. It also calls into her idea of being a bad parent because she could have gone to see Yang and Tai whenever she wanted, but she didn't.
Exactly.
That was funny. It does show, again, she is caring. Like, she does care about Tai. She does care about Yang. She does care about Crow. I caught a semblance back in Volume 2. Can't believe people actually thought she was a burden, bad luck, or future sight. Idiots. Sorry. Sorry, that was mean. I always thought her semblance was portal casting. That was always just my theory. Again, Yang's still having PTSD. I'm glad that's still a thing. Let's see. Again, I love Raven and Yang. Shout out to Anna and Bob. They do great work. Yeah. What else do you want to say about this? I'm kind of just thinking right now.
I was sort of thinking where this is going to lead off from as well, because if Raven wanted to talk to Yang, so you need to know the truth if you're going to go after your sister. Where's this going to lead? Is Raven actually going to send them to Crow? Or I thought it wouldn't be just ironic if she actually sends them to Ty and they get stuck back in Vale.
Yeah, I thought that too, and I think that's probably...
I don't think
that's probably story-wise makes more sense, but writing-wise, people would just lose their shit if they had to go all the way back.
All the way back.
So, but I did think that, like imagine if Yang went to strike Raven or something, and she just cast a portal, and then she ended up back at Patch.
Oh goodness! But otherwise, yeah, I want them to go to Crow. However, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to get interrupted with Cinder and the gang rocking up, and they're going to get caught up in that confrontation in the Banner camp, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I really liked the fact, because again, I've always been the advocate of Ozpin is just as bad as Salem, just wait till you actually find out.
Yeah, exactly.
So the fact that we now have this character that has that same ideal, like Raven clearly feels that same way, I really like that. I really am, and that's why I'm really interested in Raven now, because what she has to say will relate to my theories on Ozpin.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I loved Weiss, like, your mom kidnapped me? I just
you kidnapped her?
I love those two lines. Those are like two of the best lines. Like, I'm telling you, like, voice acting wise.
Yes.
Those are two amazing lines. Like, not the lines themselves, just the way they were done. Shout out to Kara and Yang, Kara and Bob there.
Yes,
very good work voice acting wise. It took me a while to realize that it was Vernal who yelled enough.
Enough, yeah, it was.
I just always thought it was Raven, but then But yeah, I like the fact. I guess that has to be confirmation that she is the Spring Maiden, as if we didn't already know that.
Yeah.
Well,
she was able to summon lightning. So yeah.
I would love though. What I really want to happen is they walk into the tent, at some point in the few episodes, because I don't know if it's next episode or not. I'd love if they walk into the tent and they're like, it's like, wait, could Nora ever summon lightning? It's like, I don't think so, because they have no idea about the maiden. They have no idea about the maidens.
No, exactly.
So it'd be really cool if they assume that it's like a semblance, like similar to Nora's.
Yeah.
And they kind of question, but Nora couldn't summon lightning.
No.
She absorbed lightning, but she couldn't summon. I love if that was like a joke that they played. Personally.
Yeah.
But I try to think back to the whole scene with Raven and Yang.
Inspector Who's saying something what I'm thinking as well, and I mentioned in my after reaction ramble, you'll see my video, but where I'm thinking like the portals thing, because we know semblance can evolve, and I'm thinking like the portals is the bond that they have an emotion. So Raven has an emotional bond or some form of bond with, say, Crow, Tai, and Yang that we know for certain. That she may know what was going on around them as well, whether it be by visions or just in dreams or just a knowing. So when Yang was doing that fight with Neo, she knew that she was in trouble and she was able to do a portal to get to her. So she had that bond and she knew something was up.
Again, it's what I think is interesting is the fact that they used the word bond.
Bond.
That's a very specific defining word.
Yeah.
So it could also be like almost like a psychic bond she has with them as well. She can kind of tell, like kind of sense them in a sense as well. And they're also creating a portal. I'm interesting too because as far as we know, Crow's semblance is turning into a crow, but that also gives him an effect of like an aura of bad luck.
Or it could be the other way around. He could have had the bad luck
the other way
first,
around. Like
and
how
then it's
RWBY,
evolved into
RWBY has super speed, but thus can also change her physical form into a bunch of rose petals. It's again, that's the idea of semblances evolving. They have an initial thing, but they can gain and evolve and develop extra effects, which is really cool. I never even thought of that. And that also ties into why Weiss's semblance is so overpowered. Because it's genetic, it has actually evolved from person to person, unlike any other semblance.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas everyone else's semblance is kind of like, we get it, we evolve it, it's done.
Yeah.
Weiss evolves over the years and the generations, and that's why her semblance is the most OP semblance in the show, because that genetically makes sense.
Yeah.
But again, like RWBY's semblance evolving from super speed into actually, like, again, at the start of the show, it was just super speed.
Yeah.
She kind of then gained the effect of her cloak being able to merge with her, and now it's evolved to the point where she can actually turn herself into rose petals.
Yep, and split herself into different parts.
Over the show. Whether that's intentional or just animation choice-wise, can't tell for sure. I'd like to think it's actually story plot-wise.
Yeah.
Again, like, Yang's hasn't evolved too much, and I'm curious to see if hers evolves to maybe her taking on an actual Super Saiyan form or a Phoenix form, much like how in Dragon Ball Z, the final form of Super Saiyan, non-canon-wise, it's not canon, but at one point it was, where they turned into massive gorillas. I think, actually, maybe that is canon. No, sorry, the canon is when they turn into half gorilla, half people. Right. That's not canon. You can turn into gorillas still in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
And that's like an ultimate Super Saiyan form. So maybe Yang can turn to a Phoenix as her Super Saiyan form, which I've heard that theory before. Again, relating to... But how bonds and portal casting relates to a secondary effect of turning into a Raven. That I'm interested... If there is a connection there or not.
Don't know how that would work.
Yeah. Which is, again, why people were saying that her good luck semblance would relate to her turning into a Raven. Because apparently Ravens bring good luck, whereas Crows bring bad luck. But again, we'll see. I think rose petals will burst into teleportation. It almost is. It's almost like, not teleportation, but instant transmission.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of go from one place that quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think more of the Raven and Yang scene. Again, I love that. Again, she had her welcome arm. She was proud of her that she made it that far because she values strength. And it's like, yeah, you were looking for me forever, but if I just showed up, then what would that prove?
Exactly.
Which I kind of sickeningly kind of understand where Raven's coming from. As a bullshit bad mother as that might actually be, I can kind of get where she's coming from, and like she has to prove herself.
Yeah.
I like that. It's it's mean, but I get it, and I like it.
Yeah.
Just trying to add on to
and
that.
then it was sort of like, then she continued on, where, Yang brought up that she wanted to use, Raymond to get to Crow
which again,
and RWBY.
I love watching the reactors who are like hating on the idea of her going to Raven. I'm like, haha, you! Sorry if this is a PG, this is meant to be a PG stream.
And demonetized, so that's okay.
Demonetized! I love that running joke, demonetized joke. Not that it's fun. Still fun. But yes, I definitely like the idea that, again, she's using Raven for her own gain.
Yes.
And it's like, I need to go see RWBY. When I'm done with that, then I'll come back and have a talk with you, because I know where you are now.
Exactly.
But for now, I just say hi, need your semblance, and I'll be on my way.
Nothing's going to stop me, get between me getting to
And
my
again,
sister.
I love that, because again, Raven has such an opinion on... And again, it's a genius stroke by the... But it's an awesome... what's the word? When you, like... when you think you're going somewhere, but they actually go in another direction.
I can't think of it. Sorry.
Yeah, but like the idea that, you know, the writers took us for a spin...
Yes.
Is one, it's a bad way of saying it, but that is a way of saying it. Where there's like, oh, she's going to Raven. No, but she's actually doing it for Ruby's sake, and I think that's a good, you know, plot twist. There we go.
And we also found out that way also how Raven's semblance works as well.
Yes.
And also got, of course, a Yang running into Weiss. So I think it was really, really smart done by the writers to bring that all together, where we wouldn't have seen that coming
again,
from
it's always the thing with RWBY is that they never go in the direction that the fans think.
Yeah.
But that's never a bad thing.
Exactly.
They're always original. And again, they've always mentioned how Miles and Kerry are not a part of the community at all, because they don't want to be inspired by their fans. As bad as that might sound, sorry, I said that in a very mean way. They have their own ideas for the series, and they want to draw inspiration from themselves and from Monty and all that kind of stuff. They don't want to be influenced by the community. That sounds bad. It's not as bad as it sounds. Trust me. They said it a lot better than I'm saying it now. I'm paraphrasing.
I get where you're coming from. Yeah.
And that proves in the fact that they never do anything that you read in like fan fictions and stuff like that. They always do something original that's always unexpected. So it's very good on them. Again, it's not sometimes a hit or miss. But I think writing wise, apart from maybe a few scenes we could have seen here or there, you know. But again, that's also more necessarily, you know, time wise and animation wise, not necessarily, you know. Like, I don't mind the fact that we didn't see the Fennec and Albane scene, because I don't think that would have been a very entertaining scene. Yeah. But a lot of people are you know, like, oh, we can't believe we didn't see this or we didn't see that. It's like,
we don't know where it's going as well with the writing. We don't know what the end goal is at the moment, so it may not make sense to us at the moment, but then further on, like now with
they
going
always,
for Raven,
they always like to go back and justify things. Like, again, we will get to a point where they do justify when Adam killed Sienna, at what timeline. Whether that was before, during, or after the Gira's speech, we don't know. It could have been after. Sienna still could have been alive during Gira's speech. Yep. I, for one, think that probably happened months and months ago. Like, that probably happened during Volume 4. Yeah. Like, you know, I think that happened ages ago. Yeah. And, again, some people are like, oh, they've established a timeline that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, how does establishing a timeline not make any sense? They've now justified Blake meeting up with RWBY time-wise, logically. Yes. Because they've given Blake an extra month to travel to Mistral when she's going to need to. Yeah, yeah. Why people find that confusing, I have no idea. And I guess, you know, the Weiss Yang hug, we talked about this a lot earlier in the stream, but that was just... We're about to talk about that now. Again, I mentioned it before, I love how emotional that was. I think RWBY and Blake's will be more happy, like fun-loving reunion. Yeah. Yang and Blake's will be more confrontational. And I don't necessarily think Weiss and Blake will have a moment. I think that they'll just have more of a team reunion thing. Only because, again, Blake and Weiss have had their moments back in Volume 1 and et cetera, et cetera. They've had their interactions in the past. Hell, even Weiss believing believing Yang. Well, that's another thing, too. I forgot about this scene really, really well. One of the most, not jarring, but one of the most surprisingly good character development moments that everyone overlooks was the fact that Weiss immediately believed Yang after the Mercury fight. She had no doubt in her mind. And that always threw me for a loop on how amazing that was, because that's such a significant, subtle character moment for Weiss.
Yeah, she said, you're hot-headed, but you're not ruthless.
Yeah, and I think that also, and now that I remember, I forgot that scene, now that I remember, it makes the hug even more awesome. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
When we think about it as well, like, Yang knew that Weiss's father had come for her. And Yang may have still been unconscious when that happened, or maybe not. We might think the last time Weiss and Yang would have seen each other was when Yang was unconscious with her arm being cut off, so...
Which, again, like, I really like a little scene where, like, where Weiss comments on the arm. Yeah. You know, like, oh, that looks like something from Ironwood. Like, she actually recognizes it to some degree. Yeah, I mean, because again, I was thinking that she'd be shocked, but she knows she lost her arm. She knows that much.
I don't think she's had a chance to even see it yet, because, well, at least...
Yeah, in the moment, she did probably didn't even realize it, but I'm hoping that I'm gonna be mad if it's not, but I'd like for that, just a little quip for that to be referenced, the fact that Weiss notices the arm.
And someone mentioned how, because Vernal had Weiss's weapon, and Yang didn't notice that she had Murdermaster. But the thing is, Yang was focusing on Raven. She wasn't looking at the other banner. She probably didn't...
Well, I don't think that's a big deal, necessarily, that
I don't think she would have realised. No.
Yeah. Anime, I agree with you, but no need to be mean. There's no need to be mean to the shippers. If they want to ship this... again, my ship, I guess, is monochrome. But that's only because me and my best friend love Weiss and Blake. But I don't actually ship monochrome. Like, I don't actually ship Freezerburn, but that's just the name for their friendship, if anything else.
Yeah, again, exactly.
A ship...
Sisters reunited, yes.
Remember, ship comes from the word friendship first. It wasn't relationship. Actually, I have no idea if that's true or not. I relate to a friendship, not relationship.
I'll go with that.
Let's just go with that, then. There was something else I wanted to mention.
I have nothing against the same-sex shipping or anything.
Oh, no,
it will happen eventually in the show. However, at the moment, I'm just happy. Just friendship.
Whatever writing-wise happens naturally, then fine.
Yeah.
Until something like that happens. Like, again, Bumblebee, to a degree, I can see that actually happening. I can understand Bumblebee shippers, because I feel like there is something there. But not to the degree people think it is, for one. But again, if Freezerburn is happening, I'm happy with that. I love those two characters. I don't care.
Yeah.
Again, I just want love in the series. Whether that's in shipping or not, I don't care. Love is love, whether that's physical or, again, friendship, like this is.
Yeah.
And yes, Avatar Lost Airbender is a very similar idea to what the Ozpin thing is. Again, this volume in general has a lot of Avatar Lost Airbender inspirations with, a lot of people keep saying, Bossing Say for Mistral. It's actually more like, Omashu from, Avatar Lost Airbender, which was like a city, literally a mountain city.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was a vertical mountain with a bunch of, and it had it was like slides, and it was like all these, packages and slides and stuff, was like the whole thing. It was Omashu, though. It was still, it has a Bossing Say feel. Like there's nothing wrong in Bossing Say. There's nothing wrong in Mistral. But I think visually, it's more like Omashu, for those of you who know Avatar Lost Airbender. I like the relation. It'd be really funny if during the tent scene with Weiss, Yang, and Raven and Vernal, that there's a mention of Vernal and Yang's similarities compared to their connection to Raven. It's like a whole replacement daughter thing. But even then, we know that Raven actually does care for Yang, so maybe that's not the direction they're going with.
Yeah.
If Raven was annoyed that Yang showed up, then I can imagine them going with that daughter angle. The daughter angle from between Vernal and Raven.
Yeah.
But since Raven has no issue with Yang, I don't know if they'll go that direction.
Well, I thought we saw Vernal sort of walk off when just before Weiss and Yang did
true.
the hug.
She might not be in that.
So they might not. And Raven did say, "You two in my tent now." So I think it's just Weiss and Yang. Yeah.
True. But the other point I wanted to make, I hope they make like a gag that both Weiss and Yang have neglecting parents. Like that's the thing they share. Like for example, like Weiss is like if we got this far to you ransom back to my father, it wouldn't have worked. He doesn't care. It's like Yang's like, yeah, I know how you feel. Like right in front of Raven, and Raven's just like has a grumpy face, like. Ugh.
I love that she made that sort of when Weiss.
Yeah, when where it's like, well, that's my mom. She can take us to RWBY. She's like. I love this. She didn't care about this giant knight in a bandit camp. She's just like,
dear. Now I have to deal with this.
God, at all these comments. So I think we're it for the episode, so I guess I'll just go back over the comments.
Does anyone have any questions as well they want to ask us? I don't think we had any sent to us, I don't believe.
I find it odd that RWBY hasn't said anything about Raven in the show, not to mention. Well, because RWBY was born after Raven left. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
RWBY would have never met Raven.
And she didn't know, because we saw in chapter 1 who she was.
But she never ever met,
because
which is another thing too. Another thing too. This could be completely overlooking, completely theory gag, whatever the word I'm looking for here is now. Overthinking something? Overthinking something.
Yes.
When Raven says when And also, I love the lines of like Yang is like, nothing will stop me from getting to my sister.
Yes.
And Raven's like, aren't you stubborn? And then also like, take me to Crow, damn it. I love the aggression between them. I love that. I would really love, and this might be the first time we ever got to it, when Yang said, "I get it from my mom," the stubbornness.
Yes.
If she was referencing Summer, not Raven.
I don't think so.
I know that might be like overlooking into it. But to say I get it from my mom directly to her mom sounded weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Like, I know Raven's stubborn, but and to think of her reaction, where she's like, if that's how you feel, that whole scene to me doesn't feel as natural if she was mentioning Raven. If she was mentioning Summer, that scene felt so much more natural to me. Because, like, aren't you stubborn? I get it from my mother. Well, if that's how you feel, then we're done here. As if she's saying, I'm talking about my mother, not you.
Yeah.
I could be overlooking that. 100% think I could be.
No.
For one year, I'm going to go with the idea that she was talking about Summer there, because I think that scene makes more sense if it does. Just the interactions feel like... Because a part of me wants to say that scene had more dialogue, but it was cut out.
Possibly.
But that's just... I don't know, some of the lines just didn't seem to hit one after another as much as they could have.
Well, 60-minute episode had a lot in it.
I'm overlooking it. I'm overlooking into this. Okay, Jesus. What if RWBY had a crossover of anime? I don't know about anime. Well, again, Blaze Blue tag battle basically is that, to be fair.
Yeah.
They mentioned that Rooster Teeth would love to do a RWBY Red vs. Blue crossover, but Microsoft probably wouldn't let them do that.
No, probably not.
And it's also funny that they've mentioned RWBY in Red vs. Blue in the most recent season.
Oh, did they?
There was a reporter chick who was looking into the Reds and Blues.
Yes.
Oh. And her boss, manager, said, "Stop looking into these old relics. Why don't you look into those monster-fighting teenagers?" So I thought that was really funny.
That's great.
I imagine a RWBY and Kenka crossover. That'd be interesting. Coming from... Have you watched Camp Camp? You have, haven't you?
No.
No, you haven't. Okay.
I was considering doing reactions to it.
As long as you're fine with R-rated content, they should be fine.
Of course I am.
Coming
I'm an
up an adoptee here, I wanted Yang to say, "Fuck you and your birds." Bulletman RT, keep in mind that was a joke. God, Camp Camp is more of a cartoon. Yeah, it's like Camp Camp actually is like Rooster Teeth South Park. First happy moment since Volume 3. Is it first happy moment from Volume 3? I don't know, I think Klein and Weiss's interactions were pretty happy.
Yeah.
Like the whole Seven Dwarves and him sneezing. I think that was pretty cool.
We had a couple little happy moments in Volume 3, though. They'll just him in there.
I'm also curious if we're going to get more... I'm glad we already got a mention of Penny this volume.
Yes.
Again, the more they mention Penny, the more I think they're going to weave her back into the series eventually, when they finally go to... You don't think they're ever going to bring her... I don't think she's going to come back, but I think... I feel like she's going to be brought back to some degree.
I think they'll have another...
If they're going to bring back Neo, of all people, I feel like they should be able to bring back Penny as well.
Well, I think they'll bring back another synthetic human capable of generating an aura, which is what Penny was, but it won't be Penny.
No, I don't think it'll be Penny, but I think they might have the same design.
I don't know.
They might... I don't know. I feel... Well, okay, but I just don't want Penny... I feel like... My point is, I don't think Penny's arc, her significance is over. Whether that means her directly, or her purpose, or her design, or what she is, I just think there needs to be a little more Penny thrown into the series. Whether that's her being recreated, her soul, or whatever, or just another android that is Penny version 2. Yeah. I still think there's still more to be gotten out of her story. Again, with the whole... how she's connected to the maidens and the soul transferring and all that stuff as well. My friend guessed Yang was going to use the tribe Discord to Mr. Well, then he's a good guesser then. Screw you. Oh yeah, I said that already. What's Angular moments on the show? Yes, they actually have, when you think about it. Yang isn't as ruthless as Raven. I don't know, she's pretty ruthless towards the end there. Yeah. Which I really liked. I thought that's how Yang was going to find out what's there. Shippers in general have a bad habit of taking... Yes, they do. I'll agree with you there. Who said that?
Roll.
They do, unfortunately.
Yep.
I lost my place. Okay.
The cats?
Yeah. There you go. I was at the cats. Just obviously, yeah, just these girls to be happy. That's really the great thing. Whether it's lovingly or not, I'm just really happy. Yep. Not all shippers are shipping for the right reasons. No, some shippers are a bit out. But again, I think some shippers just ship for meme purposes, like just because it's funny. Yeah. I don't think people actually ship Blake and Adam. except for maybe Lady Stardust. I feel like she did, but that was just weird of Lady Stardust to do that. If any of you guys know the reactor I'm talking about, she doesn't do reactions anymore, sadly. No. She loved Tordon for whatever reason.
She did.
I don't care if it's Bumblebee or Black Sun as long as they return properly. Yeah, because I personally prefer at the end of the day for it to be Black Sun, but if Sun gets killed, then I'm happy for it to end up being Bumblebee. But I love Black Sun. I
like Black Sun too.
They'll give Sun way too much crap, and I can't stand how much crap Sun gets. Again, and I get it. Sun was my least favorite character until Volume 4.
Yeah.
When I first watched the series, Sun was the one character where I was like, eh.
Yeah.
But as soon as I rewatched the series, and then I watched Volume 4, he's become one of my favorite characters. And to be fair, a lot of that has to do just like Morning Follows Night. Just that one song.
Yeah.
But
I love that song.
When a song can do that much to make you like a character, that's a good song.
Yeah.
Ba Sing Se is the ward city around the desert. Yeah, so maybe Vacuo would be more like Ba Sing Se. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
People have their own ships, that's true. I want the first thing Blake does when she sees the robots to run away. No, yeah, I want Blake to avoid Yang. Yeah. To a degree. Or to Yang just to be confrontational to Blake when she first meets her. I don't want that to last too long, but again, I wouldn't also mind if they do a hated arc for like a volume or a few episodes where Yang just straight up doesn't talk to Blake or hates her. I don't know if that's necessarily in Yang's nature. But if it was any other character, I would probably say they could do that. But with Yang, I feel like she'd be mad and then kind of make up pretty quickly. I just don't think Yang isn't the kind of person to hold a grudge. No. It's the same thing with her PTSD. Like, her PTSD is small, but that's only because it's that much of a drastic change. Even that small PTSD is that drastic from where she was. Yeah. If she went full on depressed, that would be too much of a fall, in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. For to get proper PTSD, I feel like would be too much of a leap for a character to fall that far into depression. But again, I'm not too familiar with PTSD. I could be completely being insensitive right now. I don't know. If I see a panda faunus, I'll die. Why have we not seen a panda faunus yet?
There's so many panda faunus comments there.
I want to see a panda. Yeah, there was a fish faunus in the crowd. Yep. Skadoosh's and RWBY. I don't know what a Skadoosh's is. No. Would love to see Blake and Carly fighting over a lost tuna. I read that, 100% thought that last was going to be Sun, but tuna works as well. Casey's killing it in the background. Yang. Casey's singing in the background. That's the and the song singing, yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
He's setting the scene there.
Okay, I get you now. Yang backing, crying Blake into the corner. Blake suddenly apologizes. Yang touches and gently says if lifting it up. Yeah, I like something like that as well. Like where it seems like Yang's angry, but she's actually not, and just use a robot arm to do it. It's like, you gave me this. Was creation used to make Penny? No. I don't. Oh, well, the creation relic is an atlas. Yeah. Maybe they created her aura with it. I don't know. But they've done a lot of things with aura. I don't think so, but that's an interesting point. If they do, that would be an interesting idea. I like where your head's at, AC. Yeah. Yang lightly slaps Blake on the cheek and then whispers, "Stop running away." I think the kiss. Yes. Honestly, right in the forehead. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Okay. I was like, but then it's like, but even so, I think that would still work. Yeah. Because again, I don't mind Bumblebee. I'm happy if it happens, but also I'd also like the conflict if that happens. But then she has since then fallen for Sun. That would be a nice little, I was going to say three-way, not three-way. Nice little complex love triangle there, I should say. Gotta go. Unfortunately, it was fun. Yeah, we're almost done here, Ralph. Good to see you. You're probably gone by now. I don't know why I'm saying goodbye. But if you're still here... You may be. Ta-da. Bye. Did you guys know Beast was Prince Adam when he was in Human Beauty and the Beast? Was his name Adam in Beauty and the Beast? I don't think so, but it'd be cool if it was. I do know that Adam is the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, but Blake is also both. Blake is also Beauty and the Beast, as well as Adam being a separate Beast. I need to buy that DVD soon. I need to buy the Emma Watson Beauty and the Beast DVD at some point. Oh, it's beautiful. Have you seen it? Yes. Yes. It's always weird seeing a Disney film that's like 1 hour moved into like a 2.5 hour film. Yeah. It was so interesting to me because again, most Disney films are really short. Stark flashback tomorrow. That seems possible, but it feels too soon. What was the title again? It was Sacrifice. Ooh. Unnecessary Sacrifice, wasn't it? Ooh. I don't want to think about that now. I don't know. Have we seen the thumbnail? No, I didn't see the thumbnail. I saw the title. I'm going to look at that up now. I saw the RWBY Rewind, and that didn't have Raven in it, or Raven. That didn't have that scene in it. Okay. It is. Oh, okay. Oh, so yeah, it's Fennec and Corsic.
Oh.
So we're gonna get more of the Ilya cult stuff.
Oh
which is
god.
awesome.
Yeah, that makes me worried now for Blake.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh no.
What do you think about that? Because yeah, the RWBY Rewind was menagerie based. I'll say that much.
Oh, okay. So we're getting menagerie again. That's good. Because I wasn't sure where they're going to go after this episode. I wasn't sure it's going to continue on or.
So it looks like we're going to get more. Now, I'm just saying, the last time we got an episode 5, it was with Fennec and Corsic, and most people say it was the worst episode of the volume.
I don't really believe it was. Like, I love menagerie. I think it was beautiful, and it was introducing a new place. So.
How do you get to find the time again? There's a way you can like mess up the RT site to get the actual time for an episode.
I think you had to go to the show schedule. I think
the C-full schedule. Yeah.
Yeah, C-full schedule. So it'll be 2 a.m. for us.
It'll be 3 because daylight savings for them as well now.
Could I check?
Yeah, because it's 1, but then our daylight savings kicked in. Then their daylight savings kicked in, so now it's 3.
3.
You have to click reminder. You have to go to don't you have to save it into your reminders, then open it there.
I'm not sure.
In my queue, yeah. Okay, so it's 17 minutes. So I think it's a bit longer than last episode.
Yep.
But a lot better than the 10 minutes of menagerie we got in volume 4.
Yeah, exactly. I
liked that episode, but
I liked it too. But yeah,
it was jarring because only one scene. Yeah. It was that and Tyrion, and that was the episode should never be that short. Or not that short, but it shouldn't be that. There should be at least 2 to 3 scenes, proper scenes for each episode.
Well, they've done that so far with this volume. It seems to be.
Yeah, and I think this episode and episode 2 were the only ones that had the least amount. I think. Oh no, episode 2 had 3. We had Salem, Weiss, and Adam. So we had all of Ranger and. Do we have villains? No, we didn't have villains episode 1. We had all of Ranger.
Yeah, and all RWBY and Ranger.
So we had 4, 3. What was episode 3? 3 had.
Blake, Ranger, and Weiss, and then back to Ranger.
Yeah, so 3. That's still 3 story arcs. 3 arcs. Then episode 4 we had Yang,
Ranger, and then back to Yang.
So that was only 2, but that was alright.
But it was alright how it was done though. Yeah.
Yeah, because we also had that would count because we had Weiss interconnecting. Yes. So it kind of was like 3. Cause it kind of
they came together. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is it 12 hours or is it 13 for us? Or it will say 12. If it's 12, it will say it means 13 because it doesn't count minutes.
Yeah.
So it's 12 hours plus a certain amount of minutes.
Yep.
So it is. Let's open this up. If it says 11, then it comes at 12 hours. So it comes out at 3 a.m. for us.
Yeah.
I'll be up for that, unfortunately.
I won't be, but I'll watch it in the morning.
Hopefully some reactors mess up and schedule it an hour early, so I can watch it an hour early. I shouldn't say that, but still.
Well, I will say while we're talking about that, my chapter 4 reaction has been unblocked, so it will be up on time.
Awesome.
Yay.
It sucks about Torture Boy. Like he uploaded, was it Torture Boy or was it Liam?
Oh yeah, it was
uploaded
Torture Boy.
it, then edited it, and then he got
reblocked.
reblocked.
Like, oh, you just had to put the dispute through. And he goes, I already did. Like, oh, whoops, sorry, misunderstood.
Oh, Stoic, don't tease. I hope we get to see Tim's son return. I want that so badly. I don't know why. It's not just Neptune. I want Sage and Scarlet as well. I want them. Yeah. I love how I think Arnold said like something about like, wow, how not to use Sun. We only saw him in Volume 2. We saw him in Volume 3, Arnold. Calm down. I know, it's so annoying. I feel so bad. Arnold's been... every time I see Arnold say something, it always triggers me now. I hate it. I don't know why. Arnold just triggers me now, and I hate it.
Love you, Arnold.
Yeah, no, I seriously do. Like, love you. If somehow you see this or read this or someone tweets and says, I hate you, that's not true. I'm sorry, not that you know who I am. Even though I did promise you a Raven and Crow artwork last year and didn't give it to you. Sorry.
Oh, didn't you? Whoops.
I was like... He saw the Raven pen. He's like, oh, can you do this and send it to me? And I'm like, yeah, sure, definitely. And I never did.
I was going to send him something for his birthday, but it just came up on me too.
Yeah, I was going to send something to his PO box, but I never did. Yeah. Sorry, again, RWBY, it's just really... it's really easy to annoy me when it comes to RWBY, so I really apologize to any people I've ever offended. I don't mean it as well. I'm as much to fault as the rest of you, trust me. So I hope Team Sun return, a flashback. I don't know if we'll get a flashback. We might get maybe a mention, but I think she's going to talk more about Ozpin, not necessarily Stark. If I had to guess, because I don't think they want us to touch on Stark too much yet. But if they do, awesome. Gotta go, guys. I'll chat to you guys tomorrow. Okay, see you, Star.
See you, Star.
Yeah, Sage and Scarlet. And I don't care. They can be the new comic relief. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I just want Neptune and then Sage and Scarlet to be more in the show. And I hope that, again, Crow goes looking, can't find anyone, and then runs into Sun like, oh, you guys sucked in the tournament. It's like, but you're friends with my daughter. You're friends with... No, damn it, no. Friends with my niece. I almost said it.
Daughter, wait, what?
Stoic, stop mentioning episode 7. I don't know how you know something, but stop it. I don't know what animator or what person you know at RT. Stop it.
Well, it's funny. I was thinking that episode 7 in volume 4 was when we got the Crow and Tyrion fight.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so funny that it's...
I think the last thing I'm going to mention is unnecessary sacrifice. Are we going to see another death this episode? And if it is, who is it going to be?
I don't want anyone to die. I'm really concerned about...
Again, unless the flashback mentions Summer's death or something to that degree.
I'm really unsure about this episode, to be honest.
Yeah. So we know we're gonna get some Menagerie stuff. We also know we're gonna get some Albane stuff.
And I think we possibly will get the continuation of the chat with Raven, Weiss, and Yang.
Just
that will
make
make
sense.
sense.
I can't imagine what else they're going to talk about.
And also because we saw that at the end of the last episode, I've got a feeling it'll flow on.
Unless we get more into Ozpin, because again, I've always mentioned how Ozpin is the sacrificial type.
Yeah, well, that's
my opinion.
Oh, also,
So maybe...
Tyrion.
Yeah, I thought that
Salem
too.
and Tyrion.
I would like to see that again. The whole idea of again Emerald listening and then them charging. But I feel like at this point it might be. Will it be too late if they're still in?
I think they've
domain?
gone. I think they would have gone.
Yeah. But again, if they're still there, I'd like to get a little more of Emerald and Mercury before we actually jump to.
I'm gonna stop yawning.
But again, if it's their scene at Salem's domain, then they get an airship and that's the last scene we see of them, and they show up at Raven's camp, I'll accept that. I have a friend in Texas. God damn it, Stoic. She won't talk about the maidens because she's saying this. Raven might just tell them about the maidens so they don't have to learn later, just to get them up to speed with what Ranger knows. So Raven might just dump the maiden stuff like they did with Crow. Crow just mentioned off screen about the maidens.
Yeah, exactly. We might actually come through halfway through the conversation.
Yeah, so we might get that same kind of idea.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Apart from Stark, maybe Ozpin, I don't know unless the White Fang cult is as far as to actually sacrificing people. Oh, my poster's fallen down.
That's okay. Mine's about to fall down. I need to get some more blue tack for it. And Max let himself in earlier. Oh, you can't hear me. Headphones.
Ironically enough, speaking of Extra Life, I don't know if I get them. I love maps, so I feel like I should get the map poster. But I want to get the pins. Yeah. But it depends, because also, again, all my RTX stuff's happening on Monday. I guess, in theory, Extra Life will still be going Monday night, so I should still be able to pay for my RTX stuff, then Monday night pay for all my Extra Life stuff. Because it starts tonight at 1 o'clock, Extra Life.
Yeah.
Then it ends Monday at 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it goes for 24 hours. Yeah.
So Monday day I should be able to spend all my RTX money stuff, and hopefully then if I have enough money, which I definitely should, be able to buy the pins and maybe the map as well. Okay, Inspector. Again, we're going a bit long, but again, I'm cool. Just keep talking.
Yeah. I'm just gonna check out a message from my friend.
Yes, yeah, that's a good point too. Because I think we're going for an hour and a half now.
Yeah.
So we will wrap up very soon. So yeah, unless the Albanes decide that their cult is sacrificing people, like people of Menagerie, which I think will be a little too much too soon if we just see them sacrificing people in Menagerie.
No, too dark. Too dark. That's way too dark.
Yeah. I'm curious though if we're going to get like a scene of Ilya saying how she feels bad about what she said. Because I don't know, I still feel like her... again, it's either Ilya hates everyone but Blake, and that's the one exception, or she was cohorted into saying what she said. So I'm curious if we'll get any more development on that. If we get that, again, that chase scene I asked for, that Blake, son, Ilya chase scene. And then the episode ends with her finally getting away and meeting up with the Albanes, maybe.
Ilya is the sacrifice.
I don't think they're going to kill off Ilya. I think Ilya is going to be one of the main characters going forward in the show.
I think the fandom will riot if they did, because a lot of people really like Ilya.
Ilya's like the new Neo until Neo shows up. Which is actually funny, because they have a similar semblance. Oh, no, not semblance, but similar ability, I guess I should say. Where Ilya's is a faunus trait, where Neo's is a semblance. But they both have, disguising.
I wonder what Ilya's semblance is.
I mean, it's one of those things that they've established to this point now where a character doesn't have to have a semblance. They can just not bother giving one character a semblance, to be fair.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Well, we never knew what Raymond's was. I don't think he knew what it was. I think they confirmed that.
Like, he had his aura at least, but he never... Because again, Nora said it herself, you can get your whole life and just uncoincidentally never getting into a situation where you could unlock your semblance.
Oh, that's it. Nora had to get struck by lightning, so that's kind of,
yeah, so it's very like, well, she could have, stuck a fork into a toaster. That seems like something to do as well.
I mentioned my reaction.
Huh?
I mentioned I rambled on for quite a long time after my reaction. I mentioned about that Nora sticking a fork into like a PowerPoint or slides or something.
Like a little baby Nora just going, just like sticking a fork into a PowerPoint. Just something like that. I'm still, I don't know, there's something about me that still wants to say there's something about Renora and Raven. I still feel like there can be something there. Because what if they just don't know who Raven is by name, but when they see her, they think they remember something from their past?
Yeah.
I don't know, I still feel like there could be something there. I want there to be something there, but that could just be me just wishing for too much there. And again, that'll be another thing where that's a bit much story-wise for them all to be interacted with Raven. Because again, they're already connected to Raven to some point at this rate already. To have that as well might be a bit too much of an add-on.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it may not be, maybe, I don't know. But it'd be cool, like, what if Nora and Vernell, like, knew each other from childhood or something, to a degree. Again, I'm just throwing stuff out there at this point. But I think, I don't know, unless you got something else to say, I think that might be...
Not that I can think of. I think I mentioned everything I wanted to mention, so...
Whew! I'm exhausted all that talking. Not killed to sacrifice for an unknown goal. I guess sacrifice doesn't necessarily mean death. Again, maybe the whole idea, maybe that speech was her unnecessary sacrifice. Like, she's now ruined her friendship with Blake after that speech. But the people didn't fall for it. Because if Gira's speech was more compelling, so maybe that was the unnecessary sacrifice.
I don't know.
Again,
I feel like there'll be something more.
Yeah, but RT has a habit of trolling us a little bit, so... Anyway, unless you have anything more to say?
No, my week is hurting my ears.
Yeah, my earbuds are starting to kill my ears. So I think with that, guys, I think that is it for the 5th installment of the Corner of Remnant.
Yes.
As far as we know, we plan to be back here next week, correct?
Yep, next week's cool.
Yeah. We'll be discussing,
Chapter 5.
Unnecessary Sacrifices. And also, we didn't talk about the RWBY episode.
Oh, no, we didn't. That was really interesting.
I don't remember what it was on about. I watched it, like, that night. I don't remember what it was on about.
It was, how they did the, bandits scene. What was it? Oh, no, was that the one before it?
I think it was RWBY Rewind, wasn't it? Because they talked about the sound design in RWBY Rewind.
No, they showed, just trying to think now. No, it was how they made the bandit scene, like, they actually, almost looked like a game, how they did it with the different layers and such, the animation.
Like the actual making of the bandit camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, that was really interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and RWBY Rewind too, they meant, like, the RWBY Rewind, they had the sound designers on there, and that's the one thing that I've criticised, and then they brought the sound designers, I was like, oh, now I feel bad. And I was on RWBY, that was the last week, so that was RWBY.
Yeah, I watched them both close together, so I couldn't remember which one it was. That was really funny, though. I liked how they showed about how they made a sound with Ruby's gum, but they were just, like, trolling us a bit with all these different sounds. It was. I feel so bad because again I criticised some of the sound design, and then they came on the show and I was like, again they've only been on it since volume 4. Like they went on it because again I think Monty did most of the sound design volumes 1 and 2. Yeah.
I could be wrong. And volume 3 I'm not sure. And then those two, the guy came on volume 4, and since the girls come on as well. And again they've done. I think they've done a great job. They really have.
Yeah.
Again, a little more punch to Yang's hits. But again, this episode was fine. But in the Yang character short, again, that's what I mean. Whenever they do something like that, they always fix it by the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, do you not agree?
I agree.
Okay, well, you nodded your head. I wasn't sure if you were agreeing or not.
My ears, itchy my ears.
Yeah, my ears are starting to kill me.
Sorry.
But I also just want to mention too they actually had the cinematographic choreographer for the fight scenes on RWBY Rewind this past week.
Yep.
Austin, and he was talking about he's actually been on it since volume 1, which I didn't realize. He was on this one. He made a lot of really good points. Some of my issues I've had with the choreography and cinematography, that he kind of justified a lot of them. But he didn't get too much into them, and he seemed like a really cool guy. So I hate being negative. I do. I know it doesn't sound like it, but I really do. But again, I like to. This gets it out of my system, to be honest.
Yeah.
So that then I'm not pondering on it the rest of the week. Pondering on it. Like, this is a good relief.
It is, yeah.
And you guys always, can like correct me and stuff as well, so that's always good. But one thing I'd like to mention that I was on RWBY Rewind.
You were. Your question was, I saw that.
Why? I can't believe no one watched it live and tweeted at me that I was on that. I was actually so disappointed
It's
that
live
I
when I'm at work.
Yeah.
So.
It was so funny because when they did answer my question, I don't know what it was about them. They all kind of went blank-faced. As if my question was like, maybe I typed it really wrong. And I don't know, I remember seeing this, like, I don't know, their faces, they were just like, when they were reading it, so I just thought that was funny. And Austin very quickly kind of, like, shut my tweet up, and it was just like, cinematography and choreography is the same thing for animation. Okay. I'm like, oh, okay, well, fine then. Fine. Well then, you're the animator, I'm sorry for asking a question. No, but it was really funny, I thought. Well, I just saw there was a comment, Cinder and Vernal, oh god.
Shipping name for that.
Once you did all the fight things, but original sound mix moved to Hollywood. Oh, yeah. So I guess they had their old sound designer, I guess, moved away, I guess. But yeah, I remember I think Monty or Miles mentioned that every single weapon in the show had a very unique sound to it, and that was deliberate by Monty. But then you heard like Ren's guns sound very different in Volume 4 than they did previously because they were reworked the sound design. They
said they all sort of adapted them slightly, but wanting to keep them still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's about it now then.
Okay. I'm tired all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I was fine at the start.
Sorry about the rambling, guys.
I've gone downhill.
Yeah. Anyway, take your stream. You take us out.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure if you have any questions for us for next episode, please let us know like the day before we do our stream, so we can answer your question on the stream. We'll do our ask for questions beforehand. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you all for next week with chapter 5.
Bye.
Bye.